Well, hello, Stampers. It's the Pampered Stamper, and it is Tuesday morning in Chatham. It's 10 a.m. or 1 minute before. I'm a little bit fast. But here in Holland, it is just about 4 o'clock. So I'm almost ready for my happy hour, but I'm trying to put the brakes on that kind of thing and not living like I'm on holiday because I'm really not. So I think what we're going to do instead is just to go for a nice healthy beach walk, although the wind is absolutely incredible. But it stopped raining, so I think that I have no excuses but to go for it. And the dog is always so happy. So even when I'm grumpy or don't feel like it, the dog is so happy. And once you just decide to do it, you see, the trick is you can't see it as it being an option. But I see now that it's officially time to start, so I'm going to stop with the chit chat and I'm going to switch the camera and we are going to get started with card number 1 of May for the virtual coffee and a card class. And the focus this month is on sweet ice cream. And I just love the cards, and I hope you do too. The class was sold out, so there are no more card kits available. So even if you wanted to join, you can't. So I'm just saying, jump on the bandwagon early. I just posted about the June cards, and they're going to feature the sweet strawberry. So I hope you can join me for that. So let's have a look-see. So here is the first card that we're going to be doing. You Melt My Heart, and isn't it just perfect for me being here in Holland with the love of my life? He does indeed melt my heart, but you guys are going to get sick and tired of all the cheesiness coming your way. So it's not a difficult card, and I have to say that the cards for a virtual coffee and a card class have to involve very little stamping because I don't want you to feel pressured into buying the bundle that I use. Of course, if you do buy the bundle, you're going to love it, but you can switch it up to use whatever sayings that you want in there. You can just make that a happy birthday. Okay? And the other thing is I used Coastal Cabana for my sentiment, but guess what? I have no Coastal Cabana here in Holland, so I'm going to use Bermuda Bay, which will also be nice. It matches the popsicle here on the left. So if you did get the class with me and the kit, I once again forgot to label the cards 1 through 4, and in June it's going to be 1 through 5. So because it's however many Tuesdays are in a month, that's how many cards you get. So let's take a look. You will have the envelope, and what I did was I just peeked inside to see what colors there were, and that's how I knew it was the right one. So just take a look in your envelope, and you'll see which pieces are there. So I'm going to mail this card to some lucky person. So I have my polka dot tulle ribbon, and now this ribbon is discontinued. It's no longer available. Maybe it will show up on the clearance rack. I don't know. That does happen from time to time, that our discontinued products end up on the clearance rack. Not too often that it's stamp sets, but sometimes ribbon, paper, that kind of thing, embellishments. So I'm just going to put that aside. And we're going to start with, I have a Whisper White thick card base, and it is 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. And the reason I have it folded at the top in a mountain fold is because I'm going to tie the ribbon around it. Okay, I don't usually do that because in Chatham we have a fair bit of humidity in the air and the cards end up flopping like this, and that's no fun. So we have a piece of Blackberry Bliss, and it would look like it is 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of striped, and that would be 3 7/8 by, oh, now I have to think hard. I have a ruler. By 5 1/8. Sorry, don't need the ruler. Did the math. Okay. So we're going to use what I stamp and seal, and I'm going to put the pattern on first. And then you'll see this side of the paper has these colorful splotches. This is a great thing to use. I didn't take the punch with, but the punch punches out that ice cream topper in the cone. So you can punch your ice cream toppers out of that, and it's really cool. Okay. But I'm going to cover it up. So the trick to using your stamp and seal properly is to not press too hard. Okay, I have to think about it too because it's intuitive to want to press hard because you want it to stick really well. So just kind of eyeball the top, and when it looks kind of straight, then commit with the rest of your paper. Okay, and now we're going to put it on. Oh, let me just look. Did the paper go? Yeah, the ribbon just went around this part. Okay, not around the whole card. So I guess I could have changed it. And I like it that the ribbon goes around the card part too. So let's do that. Yeah, change my mind. I'm allowed to do that. So see how nothing is happening right now? You just want to advance this with your thumb or your finger. Oh, and I wanted to say, see these fingers? I did not hurt myself. I got my hair dyed this morning. They were supposed to just touch up my roots, but she decided to go whole hog. And then they offered me a cup of coffee and a chocolate, and then I had to take my mask off. So she said, well, she saw me later with my fingers on my face, and she says, oh, you made a mess. I said, well, I had to take my mask off to drink my coffee. And she said, well, why didn't you just pull it down? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't think of that. So I unhooked it from behind my ear, and then I got it into my colored hair. So typical squirrel. I said, yeah, well, that's just the way it happens sometimes. So anyway, I thought I would warn you just in case you thought I had injured myself. So now it's going to go on the card. And I'm just doing the same trick. So I just make sure my top two corners are good. And then the rest goes down. And it's no guarantee, but you know. Now we're going to take the ribbon. And just a little bit over the halfway mark, I'm going to tie my ribbon. Oh, and look, I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to wait. We're going to leave the ribbon right there. I thought it went underneath of this, but it doesn't. It goes over. You see, I designed these cards like a month ago. So I'm learning to work ahead so that I get my card kits all done and ready to go in the mail so that when you guys sign up, you actually get your kit before I start my videos. Yeah, it's amazing that when you get used to doing something, it's not a big deal. I used to be, and Rachel said the same thing, I used to, when I was preparing for my in-person classes, sometimes I was still prepping for the cards the morning of. Like 5 minutes before people came, I was still busy cutting. And now I have to work months in advance. So it is a bit of a mind shift. So now I'm going to tie the ribbon, and I want the bow to go over to the left. So, and this is nice stretchy ribbon. So I'm just going to pull it fairly tight. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room. And here we go. I think, no, I didn't do it quite right. My one end is too short. I'm going to pull it a little bit this way. A little bit more. There. I don't want my bow to be too lopsided. So once again, I'm tying it nice. And you know what? You can actually tie it in a knot first and then make the bow with this ribbon. It's so nice and light. I was sad to see this ribbon go, but Stampin' Up! Does have to let some things go to make room for new things. So today, speaking of new things, today is the launch of the brand new catalog. So if you're wanting to get your hands on the new In Colors and all the beautiful new stamp sets, today is the day. And it's also there. It is also, there's an amazing promotion, but I'll tell you about that at the end of the video, okay? So now we have this little stitched rectangle, and I'm going to stamp You Melt My Heart. So I'm going to get that out. And then I want to share with you some of my paper pumpkins. See, I keep a little baggie in here, all my little extra bits and bobs. And there we go. So we're going to do You Melt My Heart. Like so. And then I want to show you a trick as well. I'm not using the Stamparatus, believe it or not. So here I have You Melt My Heart, and here I have my Bermuda Bay ink. I want to show you a trick with my ice cream sprinkles. Now, when I made the kits, I did not have the ice cream sprinkles, so they did not go in your kit, and I did not include them on the original. There, so now I'm just going to nice firm press, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's have a look, see. Yeah, that's pretty good. And actually, you know what, I'm going to zoom in a little bit for you guys so you can see. Well, that's zooming the wrong thing. I want to zoom that. All right, let's see. There, I'm so glad the more I use this technology. Now, if I had used the Stamparatus, I would have stamped one more time because it's slightly mottled, just a little bit. Now it's not focusing very well. That's okay. Now we're going to find some dimensionals. And I'm actually going to put a bunch on. I'm going to do 4. Normally I would not do 4 on such a little piece, but I want to straddle the ribbon and I want to make sure it's really nice and secure. There. Plus, they gave me 2 sheets of these dimensionals in my Looking Up card kit. I'm kind of hoping that that kit goes on the clearance rack because I love it. And the last time I checked, it was still available, which means they have extras. So this is just going to go off to the side a little bit. And you see I'm going a little bit over onto the striped section. And that's it. So now it's time for my trick that I wanted to show you. So here are the ice cream sprinkles. Take a look. Look at that. Oh, my darling man has brought me coffee. Why don't you come and they could see you?
It's a new trial. No, I have to get to the...
Oh, see, I have a nice cup of coffee.
I'm going to have a haircut, so...
Okay. All right, the trick. You want to see the trick? Okay, the coffee's good. So I take a glue dot, and I'm taking my little pokey tool, and then you take the glue dot and you squish it right into the sprinkles. And a little bit more. And then I'm flipping it, and look, you've got a bunch of sprinkles all stuck on one glue dot. And instead of just having a single one, see how cute that is? And then you're not fussing. So I'm going to do one more. I like the idea of the sprinkles. And if you want it to be smaller, you can squish your glue dot. So I take my glue dot off, squish it into the sprinkles. I know if Leo was in here, he would be eating them all. So be careful with kids that you put those sprinkles away because they are not edible. Now, I don't think they would cause any great harm. I want to do one more. But because they're pretty small and they'd pass through the system, and I don't think they've used any bad, you wouldn't want to eat the whole thing. But I think that a smart kid would quickly find out that these things didn't taste very good, right? But they are very realistic looking. Now, doesn't that look cute? Yeah. All right. Now, the last thing I want to show you, and one of the reasons I chose to do the sweet ice cream is I knew that the next paper pumpkin was going to be, oh, you know what? Always put the lid on, because if you send that flying, that'd be a shame. Look, there's that one. I still have this paper pumpkin at home extra one, so let me know if you want to be on the list to get one when I get back. Look at this. And it coordinates that popsicle. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that it's not so big, and then take a peek. I'm going to put the card side by side, and you can see how it matches perfectly. Isn't that cute? Yeah. So you can take your ice cream paper with the paper pumpkin, and then you've got coordinating stuff. So then there's the watermelon card, and then here I made my own design, and I sent a few of these away. This one I used our new dies. This is a border die to make it look like the popsicle had a crunch out of it. And the border die also did this little edge. Isn't that cute? The stripe came from the envelopes. And then this one I did to make it look like the awning of an ice cream shop. Enjoy your haircut.
Yeah.
And then with the paper pumpkin, there were all kinds of stickers. So these are the stickers that came in the paper pumpkin. And I cut this one into pieces to make a watermelon wedge. But the stickers are just lovely because they weren't used to make the cards. You can use them to decorate your envelopes. And the envelopes came, see, this is what the envelope looked like. So I think it's just wonderful. Here is the stamp set that came with the paper pumpkin. And on May, I'm going to switch this now. Let me just get over here. There we go. So on May 7th, if you have never subscribed to Paper Pumpkin before, then you can get the Paper Pumpkin for only $7 in Canada, $5 in the States, plus tax. Shipping is included. If you subscribed a while ago and you dropped and you think, well, I really want to get this deal too, then just use a different email address and you'll be fine. So Paper Pumpkin is just fabulous, especially now during the lockdown measures with COVID. It's more special than ever to do with your family, with your own kids, with grandkids, with elderly parents. It's just a wonderful thing to do. Creativity is just very helpful when you are isolated, I find. So that's it for today. It was a simple card. Next week we're going to be making an easel card, so that should be a lot of fun too. And I'm looking forward to reading your comments and answering what you've said on my Facebook or on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way you don't miss any videos. And I'm sorry about the Facebook group. It would not allow me to edit the Facebook post, so you're being told that this is the Hydrangea Hill virtual coffee and a card class when it isn't at all. But I'll fix that later, and hopefully it won't look so bad. So have a super day, stay safe, and yeah, I'm so glad you were here with me. Bye.